Hey, what's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be going over the mutant archetype that just got announced or leaked by Ruggles. Huge shout out to him, and congratulations to him for securing that nice sponsorship with Konami. That's super awesome to see. Now we'll get into like the archetype itself, but before we do, I just want to let you guys know that about 45% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So what are you doing? Yo, we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so if you want to be part of like the before 10k gang, then definitely hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell, as well as comment down what your thoughts are about this archetype. In this deck profiling combo tutorial, I'm going to be pretty much telling you guys my honest opinion on the deck. And it's also important to keep in mind that they are missing, I think, 2 or 3 cards that are not confirmed or leaked yet. So the deck can definitely get better, but I'll also be talking not only about the deck that I built using these new cards, but also about my honest opinion regarding the deck itself and whether or not it's actually going to be meta competitive or meta viable. Alright, so first we're going to start off with, I guess, the hand trap lineup. So this deck can actually make use of Shifter. So in that essence, it's a deck that is really strong. Any deck that uses Shifter is just like insane. Shifter makes every deck in the current metagame just pass turn. So this card is really insane. You play Gamma because of the fact that these cards tribute for cost. It leaves you with no monsters, so Gamma has good synergy. And then you play Ash Blossoms for pretty much like the rogue decks. Like also his soft Cydex fusion. And this deck definitely has a hard time outing Dragoons. Okay, so I'm now gonna talk about the 3 boss monsters first. So there's Mutant Mist, Mutant Arsenal, and Mutant Beast. So Mutant Mist is essentially the one that you would summon off of the spell card. It has targeting protection from spell. And when your opponent activates a trap, you can banish a card for cost and then draw 2 cards. And if it's destroyed, you can add back any mutant monster. The Arsenal is the one that you summon if you banish a trap off the little guys. And this one essentially says if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish a card from their hand or field, then target one monster in the field, banish it. And then when it's destroyed by an opponent card effect or card, you can basically add back any mutant spell. And then you have Beast, which is like the one that you're going to be summoning most of the time. So that's why the ratio is 1-1-2. So Beast is a card that's summoned off of these little guys when you banish a monster. He's immune to monster targeting. And when your opponent activates a spell effect or a spell card, so like Servant of Endymion in the scale or the activation of Servant as a scale, you can negate that by banishing for cost 1 card from the hand or field, and then negating the activation and banishing that card. And if it's destroyed by a card effect, you can return back a mutant trap to your hand. So these are like the boss monsters. They're all like pretty much really bricky. Like you don't want to hard open any of these, to be quite honest. But then thankfully the field spell lets you shuffle them back to draw a card. But the only reason you play 2 mutant beasts is like you'll most likely summon beast twice, and you don't need to play multiple of these because you can shuffle them back and recur them with the trap. And also like you get them back too with like Synthesis and Ultimus. So like you only need to play 1-1-2, I think is the best ratio in my opinion. It's just that more often you're gonna be banishing monsters, so that's why you play a second beast. Next you play like the 3 engine or like the 3 starters of the deck. These are all really cool cards. I mean, they're all like pretty much like +1, so that's like pretty cool. So you have like Mutant MO5. It lets you add a monster from your deck to your hand if it's normal or special, and that's key that's normal specialed. It's level 3 or lower, so it works really well with E-Telly. And the way it works is it tributes itself for cost and banish a card face up from the hand or field to special summon from your deck based on what you banish. And so it's either a beast, a mist, or an arsenal based on the type you banish. You also have the Mutant ST46. The 46 adds like the spell and trap. The best one is usually like 05 with the field spell, and I'll show you guys like 2 combos after this. I'll be honest, this archetype is definitely lacking a lot. I actually tested against Jesse, who was online on Dueling Book. So huge shout out to Jesse for like testing with me, and also shout out to like obviously Duelist Academy and his team, Gain Nation. But yeah, in testing, like we both agree that this archetype is pretty bad. In all honesty, like it's lacking a lot, and it lacks recovery too. If you guys want to see replays, then let me know in the comment section below so I can show you some replays of the game. But also, because this archetype is missing 2 or 3 more cards, it might get better support cards that might help it in the grind game, or help it in terms of like recovery and follow-up plays. But the archetype is lacking, like I said, a lot. And like a lot of their cards just don't do that much, or like they don't do more than what the current meta has to offer, right? Like the Dogma cards are like really insane if you want to play a control deck. Like and like this deck just literally can't out Dragoons, at least in archetype, which I mean I guess most cards can't, but like at least Infernobles has the Gearfried, and at least like I guess Dragon Link has Borosword. So like other decks still has some stuff that are like in their extra deck or part of like their strategy anyways, whereas like this one just like they don't really have that much. And then you play E-Telly, of course. You play the Field Spell. The Field Spell is really nice. It's like a pseudo extender. It lets you special summon a mutant from your hand or banish pile. And also it makes all your mutant monsters gain 100 for each banished card. And then during the main phase you can put a mutant monster from your hand to the bottom of the deck, and if you do, you draw an extra card. Next, you have Mutant Fusion. So this card is really cool. It lets you fusion summon a mutant monster by banishing the fusion materials listed on it from your hand or field. But if your opponent activates a card effect, so it's kind of like Shaddoll Fusion, except all they need to do is activate a card or effect. You can use up to one monster from your deck and or graveyard. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, it helps you break force going second if they activate anything, and then you can like pretty much just guarantee a synthesis and just blow them out. Because synthesis basically is like immune. Then you play 3 Mutants Cry. This card is really good. I really like this card. I like how it works. It reminds me of like Shaddoll Schism. It reminds me of like El Shaddoll. But it mostly resembles Shaddoll Schism, and like being able to fusion summon on your opponent's turn is generally like very nuts. What this does is it basically shuffles back resources from your graveyard, face up field, or banish pile, and essentially fusion summons a mutant fusion monster. You play 3 Ice Dragon Prison because they're good trap cards. They're good cards. Then you play 3 Dear Kind of Living One because Floodgate goes burr. All these cards are different types, and when you tribute the M05 for cost, you generally don't have any psychic, so you can like activate the trap on your opponent's turn and not worry about having a psychic. You have Pot of Extravagance, of course, for consistency, because this deck only has like 7 starters, and although 7 starters is like a good number, like it's just like even if you do open these cards, like they're not like, you just want your deck to be as consistent as possible. You play the 1 call by because it synergizes with fusion, so if they hand trap you, you can call by them and it still makes fusion live because it doesn't negate the activation. For the extra deck, I play triple synthesis because we have extravagance, triple ultimus because extravagance. We play the Omega, IP, the Unicorn, the Lambda. Lambda has really good synergy. You can actually make Lambda and then have Gamma live on top of everything else. Yeah, it conflicts with like there can only be one, but like if you don't even know there can only be one, you can like go for this play. BLS because they have like their boss monsters are level 7 or higher. Cross Sheep because you can actually do some cool plays with it. Cerberus just to out like a nib token or something like along those lines. Anaconda Verde because you can Mutant Fusion and then access code Talker. For the side deck, triple Lightning Storm, Harpy Feather Duster, Cosmic Cyclone, Pankratops, triple Zoo King Alpha because that card is crazy, triple Nib, and then triple Tactics Talent. I'm now going to go into like the combo tutorial video and then also talk about what I think about this archetype. I think this is an archetype that, like I said, it's very lackluster, but if they get 2 or 3 more cards that are still not announced, I think this deck can be very strong. Alright guys, I'm now going to show you the first 2-card combo. So you're going to start off with Mutant MO5. You're going to add the ST46. Then you're going to activate the MO5 effect to tribute it for cost and then banish the Mutant 46 for cost. And that lets you summon out the Mutant Beast. Then you're going to activate the Field Spell, which lets you actually special summon back a mutant monster from your hand or banish that's level 4 or lower. So you summon back the ST46. You're then going to trigger the 46 to add a mutant spell or trap. You're going to add the Cry, which is a fusion summon on your opponent's turn. From here, you have a couple options. You're going to set the Cry, and you can either make a Cross Sheep, and you get a Pop plus Cross Sheep, which will reborn back any 05 card, so you guarantee yourself a follow-up. Or you can actually make IP Masquerena, so you get Mutant's Cry, which summons the it's gonna summon the fusion monster for a pop, and then you can make Unicorn after for a spin, so you get a spin and a pop. And the other thing is Anaconda Verde, which is really nice as well, because if you play the Dragoon package, you can actually just make Anaconda Verde and make Dragoons, or you can actually make Lambda here and That's also really nice because that's a monster negate. You also could just like not even make Cross Sheep IP or Verde and just keep Beast and SD46 on the field. Because you have Beast as a negate, a spell negate, and then you get a pop. So it's a spell negate and a pop off 2 cards, which is like not bad. But like I said, it seems very lackluster when most decks can play through it. So next, I'm going to show you the other combo now. So the other combo is if you open up MO5 and 46, but you don't open up the field spell, you have a couple options. You can go activate 46 to either get the trap or get the field spell. I'm actually going to get the field spell in this case and show you the combo that way. So you're going to activate the field spell, but you want to use SC46 first to banish the MO5. That gets you Beast. Activate the lab to summon this back, and then use that effect to add back a miss, and then use the evolution lab to put it on the bottom deck to draw a card. So it's like basically you get 1 negate and a draw, which is like not bad. But you also could obviously just go for the MO5. I'm sorry, the 46 to get the cry. Use that 46 to banish the MO5 and then summon back the beast. And then you would have a pop and a spell negate as well. You just don't get the field spell or the draw one in this case, which is like okay too. Both of those options are work. But here's like the issue with the deck that I've been noticing. It lacks like follow-up play. So after you do this play, it lacks follow-up. The boards aren't that oppressive, and it's like it seems like a very fair deck right now. So as you know, like a lot of archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh aren't fair. They have a lot of very unfair cards. And there's nothing really unfair in this archetype. If we go back to the deck list, right, like every card that the archetype currently has is like really, really fair. And like for a fair deck, it's not going to be able to compete in like a crazy metagame that we have today, right? We have Dragoon, Blusterblader. We have just Dragonlink, Infernobles, like some of the most absurd cards running around. MO5 and SD46 are also cards that can be hand looped with Dolphin, right? Like it's just like in a format where it's like so cancer. These cards just aren't that good. Like the only benefit this deck has in terms of pros that I see is that there's 2 cards that are not yet announced, so this deck can be absolutely insane. It can play D-Shifter, which is one of the best hand traps in the current metagame. And then that's like honestly pretty much it. Like nothing else is that scary. This card is really strong, Ultimus, but it's a card that like there isn't even a consistent strategy or combo yet to get this card out turn 1. It's more of a card that you summon up in the grind game, and like that's why like Ultimus isn't even that good. While I think it's definitely a better Mechaba because you can banish a mutant card from your graveyard, but like I said, this deck lacks follow-up plays, and that's like definitely huge. The other thing is like Ultimus isn't even that crazy of a boss monster. While it's just 1 negate, and when it's destroyed, yeah, you can add back the mutant cards, but you'll see that when you're playing this deck, you actually don't get that many mutant cards banished. Like I legitimately considered playing what is that card called? The one that banishes the top 5 cards from your deck with Allure of Darkness, just to add some more consistency. And also like it's a card that like if you banish the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, it's generally very good because a lot of people's decks right now are playing random one-ofs like for their combo facilitator, right? So Infernoble plays Coatwing and you banish that, it's gonna be harder for them to combo. Dragonlink plays Fouling, so if you balance that, it's harder for them to combo. Like, so there's like cool things you can like banish off of like Necroface. I think that's the card. And of course, you can hit multiple Necrofaces with these cards and just keep banishing. And also, it fuels your banish zone. It fuels your banish pile, which sounds kind of weird, which makes Mutant Cry like even better because if you banish a lot of the level 8s, then you get the Ultimus live. So that's like kind of neat. But yeah, guys, that's like my current take on the archetype. I definitely think that this is really cool. I'm a huge fan of like the artwork. I think it's like really nice. But like I said before, I think this archetype is very lackluster right now, and it can definitely see competitive play if they get way better cards that are not yet announced. So this is the skeleton that I currently have. You might notice that I'm not playing the mutant level 4, which I think is not that good. Its effect, which I'll show you. Shout out to Scrap, by the way. He was the one who made these custom cards. So shout out to Scrapling. For those of you who don't know, he's a mod in a lot of like the chats, most notable for Farfa's Twitch. So he's been a huge help to like a lot of streamers in the community, so huge shout out to him. But anyways, there's also another mutant card. I guess a lot of people are making them now, but the other one is this level 4 one called GB88. So basically what it does is, unless you special summon this card during your opponent's turn, and if it's special summoned, you contribute it, banish a card, and then special summon a mutant that's level 8 that's in the banish or the graveyard. That's like really bad because these effects are hard once per turn, like Beast, Arsenal, and like Miss. So like this effect is just like not that good, so I wouldn't play it. The other card is like the equip spell. I wouldn't play this card either. Like, yeah, like you can, I don't know, like fuel your graveyard with a bunch of like different level 8s, but that doesn't really advance the game state. And so that's, yeah, I just didn't play those 2 cards if you guys are wondering about why I didn't play them. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this deck profile and little mini combo tutorial video, then definitely give this video a like. And if you want to see more about this archetype, especially as new cards are getting released, let me know. Also, some updates for you guys. I'm going to be releasing my 100 OTS pack opening, as well as a Buster Blader Dogmatica Red Eyes Dragoon deck profile pretty soon for all you glue eaters. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But yeah, that will also be available pretty soon. It's going to be coming out the next 2 days. So like a lot of videos, a lot more content. And as always, guys, help me get to 10K before the end of the year. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, I also forgot to add, I also tested a Thunder Dragon variant of this with like Nemesis cards and like the S Chateaus. So like these are like really, really cool. But this, oh my god, I think it's even worse, to be honest. Like, I think the pure variant is just like way better. Like the Thunder Dragon cards are really, really cool, and like you can do some cool things with them. But as I was testing with Jesse, we came to I came to the conclusion, and Jesse even said this deck archetype is kind of cheeks. But yeah, it's just that like these are like really cool, but like you're better off playing like a Dragoon Thunder Dragon deck that like Andres Torres topped with like his list honestly is just way better than like what these cards can do. I'll be honest with you guys, but this is also like another list if you want to try and test it out for yourselves. I won't show the combos for this, so definitely give you some time and try to figure out some cool things you can do. But in testing, like it's just not that good, man. Like I said, guys, it's been really, really underwhelming. But anyways, here are some of these are like basically like the blooper or like the other things that I've been testing, just to show you guys that I did consider testing other things as well and not just the pure variant. But anyway, guys, like I said, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.